Amen, brother. Check this out. The scriptures say this in 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 18 to 21. For the preaching of the cross is to them that perish foolishness, but unto us which are saved it is the power of God. So right there in verse 18, Paul is pointing to the cross. He's saying the cross divides humanity. Unbelievers sees it as foolish. Believers sees it as God's saving power. Simple, which we do. Then again, he's saying in verse 19, for it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise and will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent. And right there in verse 19, Paul quotes Isaiah chapter 29, verse 14. God overturns human pride and the so-called wisdom of the world. Human reasoning alone cannot reach God's truth. That's what Paul's saying right there in verse 19. So we go to 20 when Paul say, where is the scribe? Where is the disputer of this world? Have not God made foolish of the wisdom of this world? Amen. So right there in verse 20, Paul challenged the categories of the wise, the philosophers, the scribes, Jewish teachers of the law, and the disputer, debating intellectuals. All human systems fail to bring people to God. Amen. Then we go down to verse 20 when he say, for after that, in the wisdom of God, the world by wisdom knew not God. It pleased God by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe. So right here in 21, Paul is specifically saying that God's wisdom, he allowed the world to fail in finding him through mere philosophy, religion, or science. Instead, he chose what seems foolish, the simple preaching of Christ crucified as the way to save those who believe.